Hey everybody, Pastor Brad here. Once again, midweek update. This is a really important update on COVID-19. We've said these last weeks, we're in COVID-19 time, and that's never been more clear than right today in our state with the ever-changing, rapidly changing situation here. So let me get right to it with our regathering plan. Let me state it right away, and then I want to give you an explanation of how we got here. We are going to delay our regathering from our intended July 11th and 12th date to, at the earliest, our new target date would be August 1st and 2nd. Let me explain how we got there. We've been monitoring, and I think I've mentioned the last weeks, we're really concerned about this rapid rise and surge of new cases and new hospitalizations in our state. Not just because how that might affect us, but it already affects all of those people who are those cases. And we're deeply concerned, and we have that sense of compassion for them. So we've been watching that. And then yesterday, Governor Ducey gave our state a new executive order that related to schools opening, and also he touched on the idea that he would mandate that groups of 50 or more would not be permitted in large public gatherings. And though while as a church we're not obligated to follow that, we do want to be good citizens, and we do care about the safety, and we want to be part of limiting the spread of this virus as best we can. And so we want to cooperate where we can. So given that, that's why we've delayed our regathering to August 1st and 2nd as kind of the first target date going forward. But there's another reason for this as well, and what we're looking for to really set that date finally, and that is we would like to see 2 weeks of reductions in new cases and new hospitalizations as a bit of a guide for us going forward. At the end of the day, though, it's really this. We believe Jesus has a model of compassion and care for the weakest people in our culture, and we know that this virus hits the weakest in our culture as a whole. And so we want to follow his model of patience and grace and maybe taking a more cautious, slow approach as we prioritize the health and welfare of people around us, not just their physical health, that for sure, but their emotional health. But what matters to us is their spiritual health as well. So taking all of that into account, that's why we've made our decision. Is this disappointing? Absolutely, it's disappointing. It's personally disappointing to me as pastor of this church. I don't pastor a building or programs. I pastor people. And to not be together and to be restricted in how we can be together just seems not right somehow. But it is where we are. And I know this is the heart of our whole staff and our elders as well. So we're taking a slower, more cautious approach. We believe this is what Jesus would have for us. And so as difficult as these decisions are, we are so blessed by the church family we have. You have demonstrated your patience and your maturity in Christ in wonderful ways. I can't tell you the number of emails and texts and even cards that I've gotten and some of our staff have gotten saying thank you for taking a cautious and patient and compassionate approach. We're grateful for that. So we want to keep you up to date every day as things unfold because they develop really quickly. So you can always catch up where we're at copperhills.org/regathering, and we'll put the latest information there. A couple of final things here related to this. We started several weeks ago when this first broke in our community. We started COVID-19 Community Compassion Fund and initiative, and you have responded so wonderfully for that. We have been able to gather over $12,000, and so many of you volunteered to help. We haven't even been able to use all of you just yet, but we think that opportunity will come. There have been a number of families that we've been able to help, and other agencies who are helping families, and we're so grateful to be able to do that. So thank you for that. Here's the interesting thing. Most of the needs that we've become aware of, that we've been able to meet, have come from our church family saying, I have a neighbor, I have a colleague at work, and you have taken notice, you've taken interest, and we're so grateful for the way that you've done that, and we want to continue to do that. Another way that we can make a really positive, hopeful difference in our community is although we're not meeting on the 11th and 12th, we are going to still do the blood drive that we've scheduled for the 11th and 12th. Hope you'll sign up for that. They'll take all the necessary safety precautions, but the mobile units will be right on our site. You can go to our website under the events tab and register for that, and I hope that you'll do that. This is a critical time in our state to provide the gift of life, so I hope you'll sign up for that and do what you can in that area. And then finally, this is 4th of July, Independence Weekend for us, and we want you to take us with you. Well, how would you do that? Well, we're online every weekend, and I would just ask you, would you make the worship and the teaching hour or so that we're together, would you make that part of your celebration this weekend? Maybe you're out at the lake, maybe you go to the mountains, or maybe you're at home, whatever it would be. Would you make that part of what you're doing? We're in this middle of this series, All You Need Is Love, and this weekend is particularly a really salient topic around what we're facing right now. So plan on joining us. You can go to our website, and the link is typically up and live by 1 o'clock on Saturday. You can watch it anytime or watch it live when it's available there, but I encourage you to go there. And then I do want to finish with this. Our hope has always been in Jesus Christ, and it continues to be that. He is the best leader who's ever walked this earth. He knows what he's doing. He loves us. He's got his hands around this. We're perfectly safe in him. There are all kinds of opinions, from social media to our governor's executive orders to data and statistics and all of that stuff. And some of it is worth listening more than others, for sure. But Jesus is always worth listening to. He has a path forward. Our hope, our trust is in him. And he has never let us down. He has an impeccable track record. We're going to continue to trust him. So trust him this week. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful Independence Day weekend, and I hope to see you this weekend.